All right. Who wants to go?
Coach, congrats on the win. First off, just wanted to know if you had any update on the Fisha, and we want to know if you had the update on that.
Yeah. Always should expect the question. I guess you always expect the same answer. The game just finished, and I have not had a chance. So, no updates.
Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate the question.
No problem. I just had to ask.
Yeah.
And talk about Diamond's game.
Yeah.
12 points today. She
Yeah.
came up huge for you guys. Just
She did.
want to know, you kind of rode her there when she got it going.
Yeah.
Just talk about what you saw from her, the positives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is, it's one of those things that you can feel brewing, sort of as over the last couple of weeks, that Diamond, each game we're trying to figure out, best spaces to get her on the court. And obviously one presented itself today with the struggles we had in the first half. We thought Diamond's game could give us something different, attacking the basket, right? Because we were having a hard time getting penetration and just weren't, offensively I thought we were really easy to play against. So Diamond gave us a different look. As you saw with Diamond, I mean, the biggest thing is, the defensive schemes. Vegas really challenges you, obviously with 4 guard play, right? So one wrong step, then you really pay for it. And obviously really, she's guarding Chelsea Gray, about as crafty as they get. The vet got her a couple times, got her up in the air. But overall, this momentum is something that Diamond's had, and it came at a really good time for us.
And also, how good was it to see Courtney finally get it going in that second half? Struggled a little bit in the first, but 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. You have no idea how good it feels to sort of. We just had a game like this in Seattle, and Courtney and I had a lot of conversation. The challenges for a coach when a player isn't doing what they need to do, and choices that you have, and the choice that the players don't like is the sub. The choices that the coaches don't like is not executing out of timeouts or not, playing your role. And so we kind of had to have, a little bit of give and take, a little bit of trust. And we just tried to, communicate with her. She's one that if you tell her what to do, she will largely get after it. And she woke up in the second half, and the team needed her. I mean, that's what I told her. I was like, whenever you're not in it, we're not as good of a team. We're in the finals last year because she was a terrific player for us last year. We have a lot of other good players, but Courtney's a big reason why. And so she knows that we need her. And so I think the experiences we had in Seattle really helped us, sort of grow a little bit. And so Courtney brought it for us, and obviously gave us that, as well as T. Which, by the way, T comes in and she really, gives us a good option when someone else isn't bringing it. And so. Shout out to T too, because she's been helping us get through some of those more challenging times with Courtney, but Courtney I thought she put the team on the back, especially when Fee was out. She was willing to be the one, and we kept putting the ball in her hands, and first half she was minus 18. Sort of fight and battle back to be finished with a +4, I think is pretty impressive. T being a team high +21, and that's what we needed. In the face of, some of the challenges that we had. I thought K-Max and Carlton's defense they were just really good. The two of them were gassed. Max just got to keep shooting it, life of a shooter, but we found our way through it, obviously without Fee for, that long stretch in the second half. And, we responded with the toughness that I was hoping that we would, and just worked our way through it, found our offense, and then just got going. Played off our defense, which was key.
Diamond coming in, making the impact scoring, but also emotionally. I mean, she seemed like she really lifted up the team with, especially after I think it was the layup she hit towards the end where she goes screaming towards the bench. Just how much was that emotion kind of a pick-me-up?
I'm not sure. That's Diamond all the time. So I'm not sure. But, I mean, good for her. Like, it's, she's a passionate player, good player. So happy for her. And, I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff, all that extra stuff. But
and then going back to K-Mac, I mean, struggling shooting, but still being able to affect the game the way she did.
Yeah.
Could you just speak on kind of what sets K-Mac apart, where she's able to do that every night?
Well, I mean, that's what players like her that have been in the league for so long, they understand that their game is more than scoring the ball. I loved her attack of the basket. That was during a key stretch. But she understands that, okay, it's not falling. It doesn't feel great. But she knows how much we need her in the other spaces. And, again, defensively and, just she knows where to be, the leader that she is for our team. And, I was appreciative, that she hung in there for us.
Sure. I was talking about hanging in there, Atlanta tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
she always takes a beating, but
She does.
10 and 13 tonight, and it seemed like this was maybe one of the more physical games she's had to deal with.
I gave her, so she was our deflection winner, which she's back-to-back games now. We had a level of compete from, a few players, but we gave Lan the compete of the game. As you mentioned, she just laid it out there, literally and, figuratively that, her aggression for O boards and giving us extra chances and, recognizing those opportunities and being the one that was playing in the two-man with Court and getting out of the screens effectively, right, to get Court more space to operate and then be available when Courtney, sneaks a pass through, sort of threads a needle. Lamb was terrific, and continues to block shots and, double for her. Just, the compete of the game for sure.
The other thing is, there's been a lot of talk in this room about resiliency post-game and different games.
Yeah.
How good is it going to feel when you finally put a full game together?
Oh, we've done that. We've done that. I feel like the last game was about, we gave up 52 points, but we subbed a lot. Maybe the perfect game is still, I guess ahead of us. That hasn't happened yet. But we don't expect that we just show up and, the game's going to be easy. Anything far from that. I thought Vegas's first half of defense was about as hard as they've played. So give them credit. I thought, we stuck with it, and I thought, it sort of wore them down by the fourth, and a lot of their shots were short. And, the physicality that we played with, staying in plays and staying in front of people, and the shots were hard. I thought that was impressive, that resilience that we showed.
You've talked a number of times about Courtney Williams' ability to forget.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you referred to her as Dory.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a Dory game, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's just every game's a Dory game. Every day for me with Courtney is Dory. Drawing up a play in timeout, and 10 seconds later, I'm dealing with Dory. I have to tell her again what we're doing, and so it's fun. I enjoy that. I like, people get to be themselves, and you can't be great at everything. But Courtney has a very, very special next play. She never believes that she's out of it, right? And that is special, and we really embrace that.
Obviously, now you get to host your defense of the Commissioner's Cup Championship. I know you're talking yesterday about you got to take it a game at a time, but now that you're there, can you just talk about how important that is for this team and be able to have that game here?
Yeah, I think the players are excited about that. We went into the game tonight saying, we can't win the cup unless we're in the finals, so we had to win this game and not hope for other results or whatever. I think they're pretty excited to be at home. Having been on the road last year, for our fans, I think it's exciting to host the Commissioner's Cup. And, obviously we know our opponent in Indiana, who we haven't seen. We have other things to do. So it's one of those things, it's like, that's great, but, we got to put that in the drawer for now. We've got some, some other games to work through. But I'm excited for the team, because they obviously wanted to be in this situation.
Coach, a priority for this team and for this organization has always been using sport as a vehicle of change. I haven't gotten a clear look at your T-shirt tonight, but this was the celebration of Black Excellence Night in the Target Center. Can you just talk about, what the occasion means for you as a coach for your players, and just the importance of making sure that these types of occasions are put together and done well?
I appreciate that question a lot. This is an Angela Davis quote, who's hard work and resilience in using her voice, right? And I think about how it's not always popular right? Obviously, you can imagine the vitriol that I receive when I speak out on things like this. I think that I've said this before, now more than ever, right? The space that we're in, that we highlight and celebrate. I think that's the thing. Celebrate the history of, for me, I'm around resilient Black women all the time, and so it's a special day, obviously, in terms of being around and just kind of wanting to empower and uplift and support in any way that I can, and so I'm always down for that, and hopefully our crowd understood the importance of the day for our Black players.